What is up, everyone? How we doing today? How we doing today? How we? All right, the mic is going. Hope everyone is well. We're gonna start doing some fantasy football here on this channel. Get that kind of in the background there a little bit. So this is gonna be little fantasy football talk. If you saw the title, we're doing three teams that you're going to want to avoid while drafting your teams this year. I know a lot of drafts have already happened, so if you already drafted these players, it's not the end of the world. It's more, the teams that I got in, the teams that I have that I'm avoiding, the players in there, they'll still be fantasy relevant, but I'm not seeking out to get them. I'm kind of more staying away. They're more on my do not draft list, and it's more because of the team and the scheme of the team and how things are being run is more why I am kind of staying away from them. So if you saw the thumbnail, you saw the title, you might already have an idea what teams I'm already going to talk about, but let's jump into it. And number one, the most obvious is the Houston Texans. Houston Texans, number one on my list. I am 100% avoiding every single person on that team. The only person, and honestly, to tell you the truth, I haven't done any of my drafts yet, but the only person that I would maybe even slightly consider drafting would be Brandin Cooks. Brandin Cooks has always been a boomer bust wide receiver. He had some big weeks when he was on the Patriots, big weeks when he was in New Orleans, LA. Now he's in Houston, so he's always had those big weeks, but I never really seen him as that like consistent wide receiver that is gonna get you points all the time. The running back community that they have there between Mark Ingram, David Johnson, and Philip Lindsay, it's going to be running back by committee. And honestly, if either three of those were, the number one running backs, I still probably would not want to draft them. David Johnson is far, far away from being his 16, 17 self. He's kind of been a shell of himself. He's definitely fallen far off from being, that top running back that was being drafted a few years back before the Zekes and Saquons came into the league. Philip Lindsay, he had a breakout year in Denver, but never really did much after that. And then again, he also only had to beat out, I can't even think of the guy's name right now, and it wasn't even that hard for him to beat. And then Mark Ingram's just been kind of bouncing from team to team. He's never really been the solidified number one running back on any team he's played for. He kind of split the shares in New Orleans when he was there. Then, he was behind like J.K. Dobbins and the Gus Bus when he was in Baltimore. And now he's going to kind of have the same role here in Houston, just kind of be in the mix. And it kind of seems like they're going to have, whoever has whoever has the better start is probably going to get the heavy workload. And with that Houston team, with how bad they are, they're going to be behind a lot of games, so they're going to be looking to be passing a lot. So maybe because they will be passing a lot, you might want to lean towards Brandon Cooks, but I wouldn't. I'm not drafting him on any of my teams. I'm not even looking in his direction. And then Kiki Kuti does nothing for me. None of the tight ends kind of are, there's other people I would rather get than those tight ends. And Deshaun Watson is not going to play another snap for the Houston Texans. They already said that he's going to be a healthy scratch pretty much. So just kind of keep an eye out on that. You got Tyrod Taylor, who's going to be at the helm. He's going to be the quarterback, which he is. He is what he is. He's going to get what you're going to get. I mean, I don't want Tyrod at all. I mean, Tyrod lost his job last year to a quarterback that had 30 minutes before a game to start, rookie, because the trainers punctured his lung over in the LA Chargers. So my first team on the board, first team on the list that I 100% am avoiding and do not want any part of is the Houston Texans. Before we get into the second team, if you are new here, feel free to hit that sub button. Be greatly appreciated. Give me a thumbs up. Turn that bell on to get notifications for when we do more of these. We're going to try to do a couple of these a week. Probably 4:30 Eastern time, start time. But join the Discord. There will be links below for that. Join the Discord. There is a fantasy football chat section added to the Discord. So if you have some fantasy football questions or you want to ask me questions directly about your fantasy football, that's the best way to get in touch with me. Also follow me on all of the socials, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. And you can also follow me on twitch.tv Big Country 7914. I will also answer questions over there while we do some some just variety games over on that channel. So now, after we get that out of the way, let's hop into our second team that I am looking to avoid, and that is the New York Giants. And I know what you might be thinking about, but hey, they have Saquon Barkley. He's healthy. He's coming back. I like Saquon. I do. If he fell to the second round to me, 100% I would pick him up. But he is not. I don't think I even have him ranked. He's ranked in my. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. I think he's ranked in my top 10, but he's like either 9 or 10. If we try to run it down real quick, Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook, Alvin Kamara, Ezekiel Elliott, Aaron Jones, Jonathan Taylor. I kind of like them. Najee Harris. I kind of like all of them before I go Saquon. He hasn't really had a healthy season since he's been in the league. Maybe one. I have to go back and double check those stats, but I mean, I might be a little recency bias, but I feel like he's always coming up with some sort of injury, which mainly because he's mostly running for his life. The offensive line in New York is atrocious. It's been atrocious for a couple of years now. They said that they, addressed the issue, but we'll really see if they do anything. I know they're moving Matt Light to like a guard position. Matt Light is a shell of himself since he's left New England. And then, Danny Dimes, Danny Jones is the quarterback. He's got to have himself a hell of a year if he wants to keep his job there in New York. If not, I feel like New York's going to draft a new quarterback next year and, move on from him. And I don't want to be, me personally, I don't want to be along that ride for Danny Dimes and trying to get to see if he renews his contract and keeps his starting role there in New York. Then you got tight end Evan Ingram. Hasn't really done much. I haven't really seen much out of him the last few years. Another person who can't stay on the field, is consistently injured, which is it's tough. I mean, he is a talented tight end, and if he does have a good season, he could be a top 5 tight ends in the league. But just the recency bias the past couple of years of him continuously to be injured and not putting up the numbers that they thought he was going to be when he got drafted out of college. I mean, we really haven't seen that out of him yet. And then their wide receivers, I know you got Sterling Shepard, Kenny Galladay's there. Me personally, I could just be staying away from Shepard more on the fact that I've drafted him the last couple of years and have been completely disappointed. And Kenny Galladay, he's a great wide receiver. I mean, he's played on a tough team in Detroit, but is he really getting an upgrade at quarterback, or is he getting a downgrade going from Matthew Stafford to Danny Dimes? I think he's getting a downgrade, and he's another player that is consistently injured and has already come up with injuries in this preseason. So do you really want to continue to play that game with him, whether you're going to put him in your lineup or not, and going to have to wait and see and find out if he actually is going to play or not? But so I'm avoiding pretty much everyone on the Giants. Again, if Saquon drops to me in the second round, I 100% will pick him up. Kenny Galladay, Sterling Shepard. I think they have some rookie over there too, which I really haven't heard much about this preseason and training camp. So I'm avoiding the Giants wide receivers. Maybe I might take a dart throw Evan Ingram, but besides that, I'm kind of nothing really stands out or sounds sexy to me with the New York Giants. So that's why they're my second team that I am going to stay away from. Again, guys, if you could hit that sub button if you are new to this channel, it would be greatly appreciated. Give me that thumbs up, turn that bell on to get notifications for future live streams like this, to for fantasy football wise. So if you do have any questions, feel free to hop in the live streams and drop a question or leave a comment for and hopefully I can try to get back to you. Number 3, my third team on the list. This might come to a little shock to everyone that I'm actually putting this that I am putting this team on my list, but it is the New England Patriots. Oh, wrong side. The New England Patriots. I am a Patriots fan, and I am avoiding everybody on the Patriots as of right now. Especially if Cam Newton is the starting quarterback. You got Damian Harris, who is going to be the solidified number 1 running back, but he is going to be in a committee with James White and Stevenson, Ramad Stevenson. I can't even pronounce his first name. I know they did just trade away Sony Michel, so that kind of really summed up what that running back core is going to be in New England. And being a Patriots fan, the running backs have always been by committee. There's really never been a solid number 1 running back, maybe since Lawrence Maroney when he got drafted out of Minnesota. If Mac Jones ends up becoming the number 1 quarterback, and if we get word that he is going to be the starter come game 1, I will be a little more inclined to draft Harris, knowing that he should get some goal line work. But if Cam Newton is the number 1, we saw it all last year. Cam Newton just vultured every goal line touchdown. Then you got the wide receivers. You got Jacoby Myers, which if he's there late, if Jacoby Myers is there completely late in the draft, like 12th, 13th, 14th round, which I know from my drafts, he's not going to be there because it's a lot of New England Patriots fans, and they tend to always draft New England Patriot players. But if you're in a draft that there is no Patriots fans, maybe you could sneak Jacoby Myers in the 13th, 14th round. He would be somebody I would definitely look if he falls that far. Nelson Aguilar and Kendrick Bourne don't really, I don't know, get the juices flowing for me. Maybe because I need to see it before I'm happy with them. And especially with, Aguilar is a big play type of wide receiver. And if he's, and the way Cam Newton's been throwing the ball the last year and maybe into this year, I can't really see him getting the ball to him, that frequent. So not completely staying away from the Patriots. If the players do fall to me at the right times, then I I will pick at them, but I'm not going to reach for any Patriots players. Even the tight ends, you got Hunter Henry and Janu Smith. If Hunter Henry just ends up being out a lot longer than they're already anticipating, then Janu Smith moves up on my rankings, and he will be a player on that team that I will go after. He's a very talented tight end. I was a big fan of him in Tennessee. I was very happy when he came to New England. He is really the only person on this team, all on the basis of Hunter Henry being out longer than expected. Janu Smith is the guy that I will be going after. But besides that, there's really no. Oh, New England's defense. I can't really say that I'm completely staying away from New England, because if New England's defense is there later, I will go after them. But that's, again, defenses I don't reach for. I'm more of what's the term for it? I tend to go defense by defense each week. I don't like to stick with one defense. I can't even think of what's it called? There's a term for it. I'm drawing a blank. Anyways, but position player wise, those are the three teams I'm really kind of staying away from. I'll do another one of these, the teams that I'm targeting, and maybe we'll do that one tomorrow, 4:30 Eastern time, if you are watching this live. If not, Friday, August 27th at 4:30 Eastern time, if you are watching this late. I will try to go live again and do another one of these with the three teams that I'm targeting. But we'll run it back real quick. First team that I am avoiding is the Houston Texans. Number 2, New York Giants. Number 3, New England Patriots. Once again, guys, thank you for watching this video. Like, subscribe, turn that bell on. Leave a comment below. I'd be more than happy to hear from you. And I will see you all next time. Good luck in your drafts. And feel free to reach out with any questions if you have any. Have a good one.